How's it going, guys? I'm here to review A Nightmare on Elm Street 1984.
The kids of Elm Street don't know it yet, but something is coming to get them.
There's something out there, isn't there?
This film is directed by Wes Craven. Wes Craven is responsible for the original Hills Have Eyes, The Last House on the Left, the Scream movies, and more. And this is obviously the original 1984 classic, and it spawns at least 6 to 7 sequels with a remake. And yes, this is one of the most popular, all-time horror franchises, ever. So this movie stars John Saxon, Heather Langenkamp, Johnny Depp's Lip. This is his first movie introducing Johnny Depp, and of course Robert Englund as Freddy Krueger. So this movie's about a young girl named Nancy Thompson, and her friends are having similar nightmares. They are dreaming of a guy that's burnt. His face is all effed up, it's burnt, but he has a red and green striped sweater with razor fingers and a hat, and he's trying to stalk and kill them in their dreams. But once they die in their dreams, they also die in real life. So it's pretty much like a slasher movie, but with a little imaginative, out of the world twist, if that makes sense. But Freddy Krueger literally kills these kids one by one in their dreams, and it's up to Nancy to try to stop Freddy Krueger once and for all. And yes, that's pretty much the simplest plot in a nutshell that I can describe without spoiling the movie.
Alive and came out in a rubber bag.
No one knows where it came from or who it will visit next.
Nancy? There's something wrong with you. You're imagining things.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
So what did I think of this movie? This movie is honestly a horror gem. It's a horror classic, one of the best horror movies ever made. It's certainly, in my opinion, the only good Nightmare on Elm Street movie, or I should say it's the best one in this whole franchise. It's the scariest one. It's the one where it takes itself seriously and it delivers. Because as each sequel goes by, it just gets sillier and sillier, and that's why a lot of people really don't like most of the sequels. So this is, honestly, in my opinion, this is the best movie in this whole franchise. The original one always kicks ass, let's be real. These characters are just great. A lot of memorable characters, especially Nancy Thompson. She is pretty much one of the best horror scream queens, one of the best horror protagonists, main characters of any horror franchise. So she's really up there in that ranking. And Freddy Krueger is one of the most iconic villains out there in horror cinema, or just in film cinema. Even the song, or when the little girls are playing and using the jump rope, and they're jumping and they're singing or chanting the song, 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you. Even that song is very, very popular. So the special effects in this movie is great. One of the best special effects. Honestly, when this movie came out back in 1984, this movie really had an outstanding, out there, out of the world special effects for a slasher movie too, which is really cool. Especially the dream sequences and the Freddy's powers and shit like that. So it was something that people haven't seen before, and this whole idea of a person stalking and killing you in your dreams, that idea has never been explored, and it was just new when it came out, and everybody was scared, of course, in the theaters, but it was just awesome. It was something that they've never seen before, and that's why this movie works so well. The characters are great. The score is great. The music, the aesthetic, the synthwave type music is great. The special effects, like I said, it's great. The plot, the story, it's simple but yet effective. It's really good. There's really nothing bad I can say about this movie. Freddy Krueger is obviously the antagonist of the movie, if you guys haven't realized it yet. But he's just one of the most popular characters of today, not just in cinema, but in today's standards in pop culture. You can see him in cartoons like Rick and Morty. They made a parody out of the character. Saturday Night Live. That's when Robert Englund comes back to play Freddy Krueger, I'm assuming. And shirts, bobbleheads, comic books, animated stuff. He even appears in Mortal Kombat. You name it. He's just in costumes, Halloween masks. Yeah, he's just everywhere. He is a staple for are one of the staples in horror. So this movie's really good. There's really nothing bad I can say about this movie. This movie is honestly scary. It has a lot of creepy dream nightmare sequences, a lot of creepy transitions. Freddy Krueger, he's not really funny in this movie. He's actually pretty dark. He's kind of scary in this movie. I mean, yeah, he cracks a little jokes here and there, but not as much as the sequels. He's still pretty menacing in this movie. And yes, Johnny Depp. Let's just say Johnny Depp has one of the most iconic death scenes of all time. But if you guys haven't seen the movie, I'm not gonna tell you how it goes, but it's really, really awesome. And the work they did for that death and the special effects is really great. That's how you know, like, hard work was put into this movie. So if I have to give this movie out of 10, I would give this movie a 9 out of 10. One of the best horror movies of all time. A true classic. One of the best 80s slashers of all time. So that was my quick review of A Nightmare on Elm Street 1984. Please leave a like, subscribe, and leave a comment. And I'll see you guys in the next one.
If she fails,
I'm your boyfriend now, Nancy.
no one will survive. Wes Craven, director of The Hills Have Eyes and Last House on the Left, a new masterpiece in fantasy terror, Nightmare on Elm Street.